Dee 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 da die, die da die, die da die. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nanai, nai, nanai, nai, 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 dee die, 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 da, da, die, die, die. Hello, friends. Die, die, die. Hello, Lolly. Da, die, die, da, die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. A die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Da die, die. Da die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Da 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 da. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Dee die, dee die, 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 dee die, nai, na, na, nai, 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 da, die, die, da, die, 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 die. Dee dee die die die, dee 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 da die die, da die die, dee dee die, da die die, da die die die, dee dee die die die. Friends, Shavua Tov. Oh, I'm in the backyard, or actually my front yard, to be honest. And Caulfield's starting to wake up. I live in the Borscht belt of things, so it's been pretty quiet. People are walking past and they're going, oh, what's that noise? Coming from over that fence, and they're poking their little heads. Hi, Shans. But you know what? Let's bring a bit of ruach, a bit of life, a bit of simcha into our wonderful neighborhood. So we're al fresco tonight. We're outside. For a number of reasons. First of all, because, you know what, just a bit of change of scenery. Let us shake things up, number one. And number two, we're coming up this week to Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of a new month. And it's not just any old month. Hai Kamu, Shavua Tov. It's the month of Elul, which is the final month of the Hebrew year. It depends on how we count it. But it's the month before Rosh Hashanah. It's the month before Tishrei. It's the month in which the rabbis say that we undergo a process of cheshbon nefesh, soul searching, to check ourselves out on the inside and to see where we've done right, where we've done wrong, where we can perhaps improve, look at opportunities for betterment. So what I thought we'd do tonight is we'll do Havdalah together, and then maybe just sing a few songs around Rosh Chodesh, and have a little bit of a chat. So join me, everybody. I'm going to light the candle. There you go, everybody's waking up. I can hear it all happening. Say hi, tell me where you guys are, by the way. I'd love to know who is where and how and when, and how everybody's Shabbat was, and what you did that was fun and special and exciting. There you go. Cheese. Haili lach, Shavua Tov, Chamudati. We've got our beautiful candle burning. Hey, Ev. We've got our psamim, our spices. Hey, Mum. We've got our full glass of wine. And we're gonna do Havdalah. All right, you ready? You're gonna sing with me. Here we go. Up. Let me just get my little self prepared. So everything is in the right spot. And we're ready to go. You guys ready? Should I just leave the flame there? It looks a bit weird, but it looks pretty cool too. Whoa, like that. Hey, Yvonne. All right, let's sing together, everybody. Hine Yeshuati Eftach v'lo evachad Ki oziv zimrat ya Adonai Vayehi li Yeshua Ushavtem mayim besason Mimayne ha-Yeshua El Adonai Yeshua Alamecha Virchatecha Sela Adonai Tzvaot imanu Mizgav lanu Elohei Yaakov Sela Adonai Tzvaot Ashrei Adam Boteach Bach Adonai Hoshia HaMelech Yaneinu B'yom Koreinu LaYehudim Hayeta Ora V'Simcha V'Sason V'Ikar Kein tהיה לנו כוס ישועות אשא ובשם אדוני יקרא סברי מרנן ורבותיי ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מסמים ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיורי האש נאי נאי נא 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 נאי 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 נא 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 נאי 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 Ay na 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 Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben or lechoshech ben Yisrael elamim בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. Friends, welcome. I hope that you sang along with me. What I want to do now, let me bring you a bit closer so that we're kind of, not too close. You don't have to see up my nostrils. What I want to do is I want to share with you the blessing for the new month. I want to all do it together. We would have done it this morning in Shul, where we would have blessed the new month of Elul, but we're not going to do the whole blessing. But what I'd like you to do at the moment, and what I always like to do when it comes to blessing a new month, is to think of those things that for me would be, I suppose, my top items, like what I would like to achieve, those people that I would like to bless, anybody who needs a little bit of extra help and support. Let's keep those people in mind. And I'm going to read to you a little bit of the blessing that we're going to be saying right now. So stick around and enjoy this blessing with me. What we would say is, we'd say, may the Holy One, blessed be He, God, renew it upon us, and by it He means the month, the new month, renew the new month upon us, for all His people, all of His people. And just by the way, all of His people doesn't just refer to Jewish people. All of His people, God created every single human being in His image. All people in God's image. And then the family of Israel, for life and for peace, for joy and for gladness, for salvation and for consolation. And we all say Amen together. I'm going to sing this bracha as we traditionally do during the Shabbat, to the tune that is the mode for Yamim Noraim. And I get so excited when we sing this in Shul for the first time on Mevarchim HaChodesh, because it makes me feel that Rosh Hashanah is upon us, which is a sense of foreboding, but also a sense of excitement, because even though it's a grueling time for Chazanim, it's also one of the most special times for me, because it's really when I get to connect the most. So sing along with me. All you have to do is actually say Amen. Yichadeshehu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Beit Yisrael L'chaim U'l'shalom L'sason U'l'simcha L'yeshua U'l'nechama V'nomar Amen. Simcha, nechama, happiness and comfort. It should be a happy year and a happy month coming up. Rosh Chodesh is Wednesday night, Thursday night and Friday. And hopefully we'll catch up on Friday and we'll sing some Hallel songs as well, which is what we do as well on Rosh Chodesh. I want to show you a very quick message before you run away, so just stick around for 2 minutes. Sorli, Haisu. This week's parasha coming up next week is called Shoftim. Shoftim is special for a number of reasons. First of all, because one of my bestest people, Sassy Lieberman, was one of the first girls who read in a woman's minyan this particular parasha, and she did such a beautiful job. And I remember when she gave her drasha, she spoke about the notion, the beginning of Shoftim starts like this, Shoftim v'shotrim, that Moses was told to make sure that he had judges and officers, police officers, to make sure that people were doing the right thing. And then the very famous words that I spoke to you about last week and I said we're going to be talking about today. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice you shall pursue. The commandment to make sure that we do our best to make sure that everybody who needs some support from us, if they're having a bad time, and they need perhaps a bit of legal aid or just a bit of guidance, a bit of counseling, that we make sure that we do the right thing. But there's another cool part of the parasha that I want to talk about, because the world at the moment is in strife, not just from this crazy coronavirus, but also because human beings have wreaked havoc to a certain extent. And there are a lot of people that are talking about climate change and a lot of people who are against it, for it, etc. But I want to just give you a quick Torah concept about climate change. Inside this week's parasha, it says that if Bnei Israel are about to conquer a new city, remember cities those days were walled, most of them, they'd have to build ramps to get over the walls, and they'd need wood, they'd have to chop down trees in order to do that. What does God say? If you come to a city and you're going to conquer it, do not chop down any trees that are fruit-bearing. In other words, if there are fruit trees, you're not allowed to chop them down. And this has become part of a bigger concept, which the Talmud talks about as Ba'al Tashchit. Do not destroy unnecessarily. And that refers to anything. It means don't throw away food. It means don't throw away clothes. Don't just bash down things for the sake of it. We have to be careful about what we do, and we have to be mindful. And the same thing applies to the world. Let me take you back to the beginning of time. God created Adam and God created Eve. And he says to them, this is your world. Le'ovda u'leshomra. To work it, but to guard it. To guard it. In other words, do what you need to do. Farm it. Build those units. Subdivide the land. Do what you need to do. But you have to do it ethically. You have to do it with responsibility. You have to make sure that you leave it in a good way for future generations. Torah is not something that applied 5,000 years ago. Torah is ageless. Why? Because it applies just as much today as it did then. The messages and the lessons that we learn from Torah are timeless. The concept of Ba'al Tashchit, do not destroy unnecessarily, is relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. And that's always what I love about teaching. You know, when I go into a classroom and I'm chatting to my students, and what I like to try and do is to try and make them understand, just like I try to understand myself, that what we learn about that happened thousands of years ago, you know what, friends? History repeats itself time and time again, for good and for bad. And the messages and the lessons that we learned then are just as important today as they were then. Would you agree? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Anyway, I would like to sing a song with you guys now, and that's going to take us out. And then I'm going to see you next week, and we're going to have our Hallel sing-along on Friday for Rosh Chodesh, and then we'll do our Shabbat. And I wish everybody a blessed, happy week, a wonderful month, Chodesh Tov, a month of blessing and a month of happiness. Rosh Hashanah this year is going to look so different, but you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. Gamze Ya'avor, this too will pass. And from St. Kilda Shul, from our rabbis and from our CEO and from our board and from all of those wonderful people with whom I have the pleasure to work, I'd like to wish you all a Shavua Tov. And a special shout out to Chazan Dov Farkash, who, as you know from a few weeks ago, got himself into a bit of strife with his leg. He's had a bit of intervention and he's on the mend, and we wish Dov a refuah shleima from all of us, and we can't wait to be singing together so that we can make some wonderful, wonderful music again. So let's sing a song about a visitor who comes and visits us every single Saturday night, and with that we're going to say goodbye. You can sing with me, you know it. Normally we open the door for him on Pesach. That's the hint. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishpi, Eliyahu Agiladi, Bimeira Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David. Bimeira yavo eleinu, Imashiach ben David. Let's do it again together. Eliyahu Hanavi. Welcome, Auckland. Eliyahu atishpi, Eliyahu Hagiladi bimeira yavo eleinu im Mashiach ben David. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov.